Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy this video. So today, I'm going to be drawing a couple of Moriah Elizabeth's characters. Now if you don't know who Moriah Elizabeth is, she is an art YouTuber. Basically, she paints on things and, that sort of thing. Art. And I'd say one of the things she's most known for is all of the characters that she makes. She has this really adorable style that she draws her characters in, and usually they're cute little animal characters. And basically, I got kind of inspired by all of her characters because they're just like cute and random, and I feel like, yes, obviously she puts a lot of thought into them, but she doesn't like set down a strict rule of I have to come up with every little detail about their lives. It's just kind of like a random first name that pops into her head is gonna be their name sort of thing, which I think is really fun because when I make a character, I usually plan out everything methodically and like it has to be perfect and I come up with like all their backstory and everything. But the loose, fun way that Moriah comes up with characters was really inspiring, and I was like, I should do that more often. Her characters are also very fun and colorful, and I love that. However, today, instead of coming up with my own characters, I'm going to be drawing a couple of Moriah's, which are my personal favorites. Which, if you somehow hadn't noticed yet, are Eustace and Shelly, which are two adorable cats that Moriah originally made by customizing some squishies. And like I mentioned, the characters are originally cats, but you know the drill, we're gonna make them human. Because that's just what we do around here. And I'll try to remember to leave a link in the description to the video where Moriah makes these characters, so just in case you haven't seen that one, you can go check it out. Of course, I'll also be linking Moriah's channel in the description, so if you for some reason haven't heard of her and are watching this video, you can go ahead and check out her channel. Interestingly enough, I am actually kind of new to Moriah's videos. I feel like I've heard about her before, but for some reason I never actually went and watched her videos, but once I did, I actually really liked them. Also, Moriah did just give birth to her second child, so congratulations to her. Not that she's ever gonna see this video, but also if she does, I hope she doesn't mind I turned her characters into humans. Speaking of which, one of the reasons I decided to do this video was because the moment I saw these two characters, there was just something about them, I just immediately loved them. Anytime I'd see them in any of her other videos, I was always like, oh, these characters are so intriguing, like I don't know what it is about them. Maybe it's their funny little expressions or the fact that they have dessert splatted on their heads, I don't know what it is, but I really like them and so I wanted to draw them. And I actually think this picture turned out really cute. Though I feel like I can't really take credit for them because a part of the reason I like them is just the vibrancy and the colors and the characters' expressions, which are all things that Moriah had made. Or, had originally designed the characters to be, so I just took that design and did what I think they would look like as humans. And I actually had a lot of fun designing them. I made sure to take a lot of inspiration from their original designs and incorporate that into their clothes and the way that they look. For instance, I gave Shelly a skirt that kind of looks like a cupcake wrapper, you know how they have like little ruffly sides? And I gave her boots little spikes, like how on her original design she has little white paws with like basically furry spiky details showing the separation between the pink fur and the white fur, which I originally didn't do, so in the line art here you can see that that's not what I did, but I ended up changing that after looking back at the drawing that I was referencing and realizing that her paws were actually had that spiky like transition, and so I wanted to keep that. I also for some reason made the cupcake and the ice cream cone more normal sized, yet left the frosting and the actual ice cream as being like a lot, so I guess that kind of doesn't make sense, as well as the fact that I left the cherry really big as well. I also didn't add the strawberry on Shelly's head because I just couldn't figure out how to make that look right for some reason, so I gave her a necklace instead. I also tried to make the frosting look more cakey. Get it? Because frosting is on cake. Sorry. Whereas I tried to make the ice cream look more drippy or like slimy, like ice cream is, where it's like wet and melty, whereas frosting is really thick. So I tried to differentiate between the two textures, or I guess consistencies is the correct word. All the colors I used were directly taken from their original designs to stay as true to original as possible. The only color that's not in the original design is of course their skin tones, because they didn't have skin tones in the original design since they were cats. I mean, I guess cats technically have skin tones, but you don't really see them under all the fur. So I just ended up choosing some skin tones that I felt matched the rest of the color palette, especially what I felt would match their hair color, which their hair is the color of their fur. I also carried some of their designs from their desserts onto their clothes. So like I previously mentioned, Shelly's skirt is like a cupcake wrapper, her top is basically like the frosting, like it's white with the polka dots, and Eustace got a vest with little crisscrosses on it like a waffle cone. Also, one of the reasons I gave him the vest in the first place was because I felt like his outfit needed more interest. And it's funny because they both turned out looking fancy, like they look like they're going somewhere. Alright, I'm about to add the sprinkles, and you know what that means. And if you're confused about what just happened, long story short, that is the sprinkle song. I mean, I guess that kind of is the whole story. Also, I hope you're happy. I shaded every single one of those sprinkles. You're welcome. Anyways, I don't know why I drew them so fancy. They just give me fancy vibes, you know? Like their expressions, and I don't know, the name Eustace, the only other time I've heard that name was in Narnia. You know, the cousin in Voyage of the Dawn Treader? I love that kid, he's the worst. And he's just kind of like, oh yes, I'm so proper. And so perhaps it's that I just associate the name with being fancy. Or maybe it's just the name itself sounds fancy. The name Shelly also kind of sounds fancy. It also kind of sounds like a librarian. One thing that I did a little bit different with this drawing than my normal drawings is that I did all the shading as cell shading. One of the reasons is because the original picture had cell shading, as well as the fact that the bright colors kind of had like a cartoony feel, and the shapes were kind of blocky. I don't know, it just like really worked for this drawing. I attempted to soften the lines, but it just didn't look right, so I didn't end up doing that. I think the harsh edges really work for this style, and I quite like it. Let me know what you think. The only time on this picture that I did use the airbrush though was when adding their blush, which is actually something that I add to every picture. I've never really talked about it before, but basically what I do is I take their skin tone and then I just bring the color to red, though sometimes I leave it more orange or corally depending on the skin tone, and then I put it on their cheeks and a little bit over the nose, and then I lower the opacity so that there's just a little bit of color in their face so they don't look as flat or washed out. And depending on what the character is doing, like if they're really upset or maybe they're supposed to look like they've been running around a lot, then I'll just make the blush more intense, so I won't lower the opacity as much. Let me know if you want to see me make any sort of tutorials on drawing. I'm by no means an expert, but if you're at all interested just to know kind of what my methods are, you can let me know, and I might make a video showing you some of the steps that I go through when drawing. Anyways, I gave Shelly a little bracelet that looks like little candies or like the little sprinkles. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier, but I love her outfit. Like, I would totally wear it. I absolutely love her shoes. Let me know what you guys think of their outfits. And let me know what you think of them overall. Do you think that I translated their characters well into human, or do you think that it doesn't really look like them? Or maybe there are just things that you would have changed. I think personally my main problem with the picture is that I just couldn't get Eustace's face right. Like, he just has this expression and I couldn't replicate it. It's too perfect to replicate. I couldn't do it. But I still think he turned out really cute. And also, if you have any suggestions for things you'd like to see me draw, maybe characters you'd like to see in my style, or maybe you want to see me draw another one of Moriah's characters as a human, or just any other character or animal or anything else as a human, let me know. As well as, if you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel out, and you'll get notified when new videos go up. Of course, you can always unsubscribe later if I'm too annoying for you. And while you're over there, be sure to give this video a like so I know that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, and here's the finished picture. Or I guess, in another second. I thought we were slightly closer to the end. Alright, here we go. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Okay, love you, bye! Does this sound better to you? Am I talking normal? Is this normal?